So in our first equation, or sorry, our second equation here, 2x plus 15y is equal to 525. We're going to substitute in for y equals 15. And when we simplify, 15 times 15 is 225. We're going to subtract 225 from both sides. So that simplifies to be 2x is equal to 300. Next, we divide both sides by 2, and we end up with x is equal to 150. So therefore, the baseball bats cost $150 each. And so our solution, therefore, the cost of the bats were $150 and the cost of the balls were $15. So we're going to come up with a process now for solving by elimination, and these are the steps we're going to follow. So to solve a linear system by elimination, the first thing you're going to do is express both equations in the same form. In other words, we want the x terms and the y terms in both equations in the same place, and we want the constant in the same place. And it doesn't have to be in this form. We could have it as ax is equal to by plus c, but we want both equations in the same form. Secondly, we want to choose a variable to eliminate and multiply each equation by a constant with the goal of having the same coefficients or the opposite coefficients for each of the chosen variable. Thirdly, we're going to add or subtract the terms on the left side of the equation and on the right side of the equation to eliminate the variable we've chosen to eliminate, the chosen variable. Then we solve for our unknown. And the last thing we do is determine the value of the other variable, just as we did back with substitution, by substituting the solved value into either one of the two equations. So what we're going to do here is solve the linear system y equals x plus 1 and y equals 3 minus x. Now the first thing we have to do is put them in the same order. In the first equation, x comes first. So we have to put both equations in the same form. So x comes first in the first equation. We want to switch this around so the x term comes first in the second equation. And when we do this, remember that the term stays with the variable. So we're fine with the first one. We have to change this to y equals and negative x, so the coefficient stays with the variable. So negative 1x plus 3, because this is understood to be positive 3. So the next thing we have to do is choose a variable to eliminate and multiply each equation by a constant with the goal of having the same or the opposite coefficient for the terms of the chosen variable. Well, we have both cases here because y already has each y has a coefficient of 1, which is the same coefficient, and the x coefficients are 1 and negative 1, which are opposites. So we can then, we're already done here, and we could either choose to eliminate x or y in this situation. So what we're going to do next is we're going to add or subtract the like terms in the equation and then solve for the unknown. So here we've got the first equation is y equals x plus 1. The second one is y equals negative x plus 3. And we're gonna either add or subtract, and what we're gonna do here is add, because we're gonna choose to eliminate x. It's often easiest if you add equations as opposed to subtracting them, and that's always a good hint if you've got the choice. So what we're gonna do is add these two equations. So I want you to add y and y, x is and then equals x plus negative x, and we're gonna add 1 and 3. And then when you do that, I would like you to solve for your unknown, which is going to be y, and determine what the value of y is, sub back into the equations and find the value of x, and then check your answer.